Next up, we have Bellevue Gold. Just to introduce Darren Stralow, CEO of Bellevue Gold. Darren is a well-regarded mining executive, 2 decades experience, previously Northern Star's Head of Operations and Head of Business Development. Bellevue Gold is fully funded and sprinting towards first gold in 2023, at which point it will be one of the highest grade and lowest carbon intensity gold mines in the world. So I look forward to hearing an update. Please join me in welcoming Darren Stralow.
Look, thanks Digby very much for the introduction. Look, I am very excited to be here in Kalgoorlie presenting at Diggers and Dealers. Carl said it was his 35th time, it's my first time, so good to follow him. But look, I'm really excited to come here and present the Bellevue story to everybody because we really do have a great story to present. We really do have a project that has world-class characteristics and world-class potential, and projects of this size, scale and quality are very, very rare in this industry. We have over 3 million ounces of high-grade resource. We have over 1.3 million ounces of reserve. We have defined a 10-year mine life at a 6 gram per tonne head grade. It's a mine that will produce 200,000 ounces per annum with an all-in sustaining cost of $1,000 to $1,100 per ounce. This will generate significant free cash flow margins, circa $250 million per annum. And as Paul Keating famously said, that's a beautiful set of numbers. The last 200,000 ounce per annum development projects in WA were the Gruyere project and the Tropicana project. These required joint ventures to develop, so projects of this size and scale in a company like Bellevue are very, very rare indeed. And we have one of them that is right here in the goldfields in our backyard. And it's a project that is still growing, which is really important. Recently we grew mine life by 25% through just 10 months of underground drilling. And we're still underground drilling and we'll continue to do that all the way through to production next year. And de-risking is becoming a huge part of the Bellevue story as we go forward. We're ticking all the boxes as we move the project forward to production. We're developing underground. We've got an exceptional team of proven mine builders, tier 1 contractors on board like Develop and GR Engineering, and we're on track for production in the second half of next year. But look, it's one thing to hear that, but it's another thing to see it. So I'll put a video on. So look, you've now seen with your own eyes the great project that we're building. Very importantly, we're fully funded through to production. We've got $317 million of available liquidity. We've got good cash balance, a $200 million debt facility with Macquarie, who are very supportive of the project. And very importantly, we've locked in 90% of our pre-production capital costs through contracts and advanced tenders right now. And this importantly shields us from future cost escalation and volatility in an inflationary market. So we'll continue to tidy that up and really bring this into production. But look, one thing that shouldn't be missed with Bellevue is that we're well advanced along the project development timeline. The portal was fired almost 2 years ago, and we've been mining underground since. And we hit a milestone in the past week where we intercepted ore for the first time in the Armand lode underground. It was right where we expected, and it's already grading 7 grams per tonne across the whole face straight away. And look, the spotlight on ESG all over the industry, all at the conference, has been pretty bright, and in the future, it's really only going to get brighter. The modern investor is demanding performance not just from operational and financial metrics, but also performance from sustainability metrics. Sustainability is a core part of the vision and purpose here at Bellevue, and we have the platform, the asset, and the opportunity to be an industry leader in this space. We've designed and costed the Bellevue project to produce the lowest greenhouse gas intensity gold of any gold mine in Australia, and we have a stated aspiration of being a net zero greenhouse gas emissions gold producer by 2026, which is well ahead of our peers. But ESG is not just about carbon, it's also about many other things, including diversity, community, heritage, health and safety. These are all big areas of focus for us and all areas that we're seeing great results in. And what we really benefit from is the fact that this project is discovered right in the northern goldfields of Western Australia, just up the road. WA is the world's #1 mining destination for a reason. We have a mining culture here that is consistently at the forefront of mining innovation, mining productivity, and that's particularly from an underground mining point of view. Our project is located in the Agnew-Wiluna Greenstone Belt. This is a significant metalliferous greenstone belt. There's deep tapping crustal scale structures, and it's host to world-class nickel, lithium, and Archean lode gold deposits. This belt goes from Agnew in the south up to Jundee in the north, which are big gold projects that are owned by the majors. And around Bellevue, we have IGO's Odysseus mine just 3 k's away, Liontown's fantastic development project just 15 k's to our north. So this is really becoming one of the most exciting mining addresses globally. And we have a really quality ore body that we've discovered in this area. As it currently stands, we've defined 3 million ounces at 10 grams per tonne, and it's not just over one lode. We have multiple parallel vertically dipping lodes, complemented by some high-grade horizontal lodes, and this results in a fantastic endowment of 5,000 ounces per vertical metre. We've done a significant amount of drilling here, over 500,000 metres of oriented diamond core drilling. So this is the best quality of data that you could possibly get. And here on this page, you can see a number of the awesome intercepts that we've had through each one of the lodes in our ore body. And from the thicknesses here, I think what's important, it's not just a narrow vein mine either. This thing pinches and swells, and there's some areas in the mine that are 8 to 10 metres wide. So that means that when we go to mine it, there's going to be some real bonanza areas. And it's a project that's grown rapidly since it was discovered in 2017. And it will continue to grow at a rapid rate as we get further underground and we continue to drill it out. So we define the first few hundred metres from the surface, and as we have done more underground development, we've moved the drill rigs underground and continue to drill more from the underground horizons. We can also, as we get there, start targeting the parallel structures that we've identified and haven't drilled, and all of this future drilling will add to the already impressive 10-year mine life that we have at Bellevue. I want to talk about the 10-year mine life. This is what it looks like. So everything here is designed, scheduled out. This is a really solid and robust plan that's backed up by this significant 1.3 million ounce reserve. Gives us an enviable production profile of 200,000 ounces per annum by filling up our 1 million tonne per annum mill with 6 gram material. And there are multiple avenues for growth on top of this fantastic profile. So, this includes the multiple high-grade hits that sit outside of this plan. You can see a few of them in the box in the middle down the bottom of this page. And these are just a part of that 1.3 million ounces of resource that sits outside of this mine plan that we can drill and convert as we get underground. And we also have the option of increasing the mill throughput to 1.2 million tonnes per annum, which we've had a good look at and we can do without any further capital expenditure. But I think what a lot of people miss about Bellevue is that we've got a significant head start already from an underground mining perspective. The portal was fired 2 years ago. Since then, we've completed over 5.1 kilometres of underground development. We've got all of the low productivity, single heading, ventilation restricted work out of the way. And the mine is really ready to start hitting its straps from a productivity perspective. We've put in a contractor now who has a lead operating team, you heard from Bill this morning, with Develop, and we're already seeing record development performances in their first couple of months on site. We've hit our first ore drive in Amand, as I said. We've got multiple work areas, so 10 headings for one jumbo right now. And the future of this mine is going to be ramping up to 4 or 5 jumbos, targeting over 5 independent mining areas all at the same time. So, this fantastic layout of the mine is really exciting to us because it allows for elite performance over an entire fleet of jumbos, and that's what the team at Bellevue and the crew at Develop are really excited about. And you can see it here in the pictures. We've got 10 available headings over multiple work areas, amazing ground conditions, massive basalt rock mass, only bolts and mesh required, significant installed infrastructure, an elite underground mining team. This mine just ticks all the boxes. And look, we're committed to doing this fantastic ore body the service it deserves by demanding and achieving high performance as we mine it and go forward. From a processing perspective, this is going to be the next milestone and the next news flow from Bellevue. We're going to commence construction of our processing plant this quarter. And look, it's a very simple plant. It's 1 million tonne per annum CIL plant, 97% recovery through the CIL circuit with over 60% recovery just through the gravity circuit. And it's being built by GR Engineering, who are the best in the game for this type of plant. It's expandable, as I said, but importantly, we're also going to be significantly de-risked for the startup because when we turn it on, we're going to have a stockpile of over 200,000 tonnes of over 5 gram per tonne material sitting on the ROM pad for commissioning, and that's in the second half of next year. And so look, if you look at the market over the last 12 months and the performance of Bellevue shares, you can see that we've been in a bit of a holding pattern or in a bit of a consolidation phase over that time. When you look at the other gold developers that have been more advanced than us as they've gone through the development process and transitioned to production, these companies have had a significant re-rate over this time. They de-risked, they constructed their projects, they got to first gold, and they got the re-rate. And this is the pathway for Bellevue over the next 12 months or so. So as we build this project, history will say that rather than continuing to trade at a discount to PNAV, like the other development companies, we're going to be re-rated onto cash flow multiples. And that's where it becomes really important because with $1,000 to $1,100 all-in sustaining cost, significant scale, this is going to result in significant free cash flow generation, which is what the market is screaming out for. And this will leave room for a significant re-rate over this exciting period that we have ahead as we build our mine. So look, I hope it's come across today that I'm really excited about this Bellevue opportunity. We do have a highly motivated team. We've got an asset with world-class potential. We've already defined it. We have the clear potential for the project to keep growing, and that's from a production perspective, resource and reserve perspective. We have the opportunity to be a leader in the ESG space. And as we continue down this pathway to production and we continue to de-risk this project, there'll be a pathway for a significant re-rate. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Darren. Having visited site on Sunday, I can see how much progress you've made. Certainly agree the stock will have a big re-rate. Just one quick question from online. We do hear a lot about labour and skill shortages. If you could please just talk through how have you found the recruitment process as you're ramping up operations, and your thoughts on if you think labour cost growth in particular is likely to continue or has it peaked?
Yeah, look, great questions. Look, I think it's true that there has been a big labour shortage. You know, all of the commodities are firing at the same time, probably over the last 12 months, which is not something that has happened often over the last little while, and there has been a big demand of people. You know, look, speaking for ourselves, like, we're pretty blessed that we have, you know, a brand new project. It's got grade, it's got scale, it has great ESG characteristics, and it really talks to, you know, the next generation coming through. You know, the values that they have and the values that we have as a company really align. So we're getting a lot of people actually wanting to come and work for Bellevue, and, you know, fingers crossed, we hope that that continues as we continue to build the mine. We've got a full processing crew to recruit next year, so if you know any good processing operators, please tell them to reach out. But, you know, and then from a cost perspective, I think, you know, particularly in the gold space, there wasn't a lot of wage growth probably from 2013 through to 2021. And I think what's happened in the last 12 months is that's probably corrected a little bit. Everyone's got a big pay rise. But what I see going forward is that's not going to be sustainable year on year. And I think that we're going to level out for a little while before we see it up again.
That's great. Please thank Darren Stralow, Bellevue Gold. Well done, mate.